Hi everybody, Reed Robbins coming to you from New York City in my studio. I wanted to talk a little bit today about being an artist in an age of anxiety. If we like it, we'll do a couple more videos. This is meant to be part one. But anyway, let's get going. Take stock, we realize that things look a little scary right now. Things have not gone our way, but there are a lot of really great things, and I've noticed, I listen to some music the next day, and somehow that music sounded better. Like every note was so beautiful, so important, so lovely. Went out and had a good dinner. Food tastes sweeter. I'm thinking back to 1969, and in 1969 I was 12. The world was coming alive with possibility. I had seen Jimi Hendrix in 1968 live. That was the moment. I already had Hendrix albums, but that was the moment where it just hit me that I had to be a musician. And there was the Beatles, there was the Rolling Stones, there was Dylan, Cream, and people out on the street marching for social justice, and you thought that's what that's what it was going to be. My God, I thought nobody was going to go backwards from that, and yet somehow it happened. And if you look at what the politics was at the time, you're talking about Richard Nixon and Haldeman and Vietnam, and Watergate was coming. It was really tough time. Is it possible that through the power of love that we can make music, art, that is more important now because of what has happened? When I got into being a musician, that's what I got into it for. Who amongst us does it for any other reason? Very few of us. The question comes up, how do we cope? And I have to say that my motto is casting is everything. Purge the things that take your mental energy away from you. Toxic people and toxic situations. Keep good company, and keep the company of good thoughts. How do we respond? Because we have to respond to darkness, violence, hatred, bigotry. I remember the Leonard Bernstein quote, which I actually have in a frame on my wall, and this is in response to Kennedy's assassination. He wrote, "But this sorrow and rage will not inflame us to seek retribution. Rather, they will inflame our art. Our music will never again be quite the same. This will be our reply to violence, to make music more intensely, more beautifully, more devotedly than ever before." Now, when we speak of devotion, which I'll talk about more later, we're not talking about subservience. We're talking about commitment. And that commitment leads us to the smaller picture, to get the big out of the small. Have faith in the butterfly effect, which says that halfway across the world right now, butterfly is flapping its wings, and that's going to affect great change eventually where we are. To that end, practice patience and patiently. Slow, methodical, calm, judicious, and loving towards yourself. Practice patiently. Remember the rule of 10,000 hours of deliberate practice. Also, your art should reflect your core beliefs. Big concepts: justice, truth, life's meaning, love. These things need to be present in your work, and not only in the product that you come up with, but in the process you use to get to it. So, we look outside. Is it cloudy? Is it sunny? Well, at this point, I'm sure we're all aware that even when it's cloudy, the sun is still there. It's just obscured, right? Remember that. You are both observer and observed. Observe yourself. Have compassion for your feelings. But try to keep in mind, try to be centered about the fact that the sun is still up there, and it will come out again. In terms of centering yourself, practice self-care. 3 areas. Your physical needs. Every time you take care of yourself physically, you're providing an act of love and compassion for yourself. You need it, especially now. Go for a walk, read an inspiring book, hit the gym, have good food, take a shower, brush your teeth. Your mental needs. First off, it's not your fault that there are problems in the world. You can help with them, and please do, but don't take the blame. Could I have done more? Let it go. Just let it go. Practice gratitude. Be with friends. Be with loved ones. Listen to great music and meditate. In terms of your musical, professional, creative needs, if you're an artist, musician, creative in any way, this is where the honey is. Make time for your work. Schedule it. Guard it. Guard the time. Once there, give yourself into the process and not the result. Remember the butterfly effect. Again, remember that any effort spent here is a gift to you and to the world. I'm going to leave you today with a koan, K-O-A-N. And a koan is a paradoxical statement that is designed to produce enlightenment. It makes me think, for example, of the sound of one hand clapping. But this koan is about a monk who goes to a monastery, and the monk goes to the master. The monk is sitting there eating his food in the cafeteria. The master walks by, and the monk runs up to the master and says, "Master, I have just entered the monastery, and I beg you to teach me." And the master says, "Did you have your rice porridge?" And the monk says, "Yes, master." And so then the master says, "Go wash your bowl." In that instant, the monk was enlightened. So I ask this of you this week. Go wash your bowl. Practice self-care. Practice your art. Exhibit love, kindness, and compassion to yourself, to others in any way that you can. And when we come back next time, I'll have some specific ideas about how to turn that into a practice that you can do methodically. Reed Robbins here in my studio in New York City. See you next time.